There are certain questions that don't ask for answers. They ask for access. Not access to your thoughts, but to your boundaries, your judgment, your control. And the most dangerous part is, you won't recognize them when they happen. Because they don't sound aggressive, they sound normal, familiar, almost kind, and that's exactly why they work. Because by the time you realize what was really taken from you, you've already given it away. Niccolò Machiavelli understood something most people still miss. Power is rarely taken by force, it's handed over, in small moments that don't feel important at the time. A sentence, a reaction, a quick answer you didn't think twice about. That's how people lose control. Not all at once, but piece by piece in conversations that felt harmless. You were trained to answer instantly. Question asked, answer given. No pause, no filter. And that conditioning feels normal until you realize it removed the only thing that protects you. The pause. That small space between being asked and choosing what to give. Without that space, you don't decide. You react. And reaction is where control disappears. The first question doesn't even feel like a question. It comes after something has already happened. A decision made for you. A line crossed quietly. And then the soft confirmation. You don't mind, right? But look closely. The action came first. The permission came after. That's not respect, that's positioning. Because now if you push back, you look difficult. So most people don't. They say it's fine. And in doing that, they unknowingly approve the behavior. And once you approve it once, it doesn't stay the same. It escalates. Slowly. Quietly. Until one day you realize you've been agreeing to things you never actually chose. The shift is simple, but most people never make it. You don't argue. You don't explain. You just step out of the frame. I would have preferred being asked first. That one sentence changes how people measure you. Now, here's where it gets more subtle. Someone looks at you and says, "Can I be honest with you?" And almost automatically you say yes, because saying no feels wrong. But what follows is rarely honesty. It's doubt. A comment that sticks longer than it should. Something that quietly weakens your certainty. And now you can't react because it was framed as truth. But that's the illusion. They didn't give you truth. They gave you their perspective packaged in a way that makes it feel unquestionable. Real honesty doesn't need permission. It doesn't need a warning before it lands. And the moment you stop accepting that setup, automatically, something shifts. You don't block them. You just stop giving them control over how it lands. Say it. I'll decide what I take from it. And suddenly, the weight doesn't sit on you anymore. And if you're starting to notice how often these moments happen in your own life, that's a good sign. Most people never even see it. They just feel the consequences later. So if you're someone who wants to understand how people actually operate beneath the surface, subscribe. Because this is the kind of awareness that quietly changes everything. The third question feels different. It feels respectful, almost flattering. Someone trusts you enough to ask, "What would you do if you were me?" And for a moment it feels like importance, like your judgment matters. But what's actually happening is quieter. They're handing you a decision without giving you the consequences. Because now, whatever happens next carries your voice in it. If it works, they move forward. If it fails, your words come back. Maybe not openly, but you'll feel it. That subtle shift of responsibility landing on you. And sometimes they were never confused at all. They just wanted someone else attached to the decision in case it collapsed. The way out isn't refusing to help. It's refusing to carry what isn't yours. What are you leaning toward? And just like that, the weight returns to where it belongs. The fourth question shows up the moment truth gets uncomfortable. You bring something up, you confront, and instead of addressing it, they pivot instantly. Who told you that? And just like that, the focus moves away from what they did. to how you found out. It's clean, almost automatic, and if you follow it, you lose control of the entire conversation. Because now you're explaining yourself instead of holding them accountable. Worse, you expose someone who trusted you, and once that happens, something important disappears. Not just information, but access to truth itself. The only way to hold ground here is to refuse the shift. That's not important. What matters is whether it's true. And then you stay there. No movement, no justification, just stillness. That's where control comes back. But all of this, every single one of these, depends on something deeper. One final question. The one that removes your ability to protect yourself entirely. You trust me, right? It sounds simple, but it's not. It's a contract disguised as a question. Because the moment you say yes, you commit to consistency. Now every doubt you feel has to fight against your own words. Every instinct that tells you something is off becomes uncomfortable because you already declared trust. And now questioning them feels like contradicting yourself. That's the trap. Not trust itself, but being forced to declare it on demand. Real trust is never asked for in a moment. It's built slowly through patterns you don't have to think about. And the people who deserve it don't need to ask for it. The ones who do usually need the words because the actions aren't enough. So you don't say yes. You don't say no. You step outside the frame completely. I watch what people do. That's it. And in that moment, you take your judgment back. After this, nothing dramatic changes on the surface, but internally, everything shifts. You start noticing the pull behind questions, the pressure hidden in simple words. You feel the moment where you're about to give something away, and for the first time, you stop. Not because you're afraid, but because you're aware. And that awareness creates something rare. Control. Because most people will go their entire lives answering every question they're given, agreeing when they should pause, explaining when they should stay silent, trusting when they should observe, and they won't even realize why they keep ending up in situations they never chose. But once you see it, you can't go back. Now every question feels different. Every pause feels intentional. Every answer becomes a decision. And the moment your answers become deliberate, you stop being someone people can move